Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, pipe lovers, pipe smokers, welcome to this channel. I am Daniel Mustran, I'm pipe maker from Croatia. And for those who were wondering if I'm still alive, yes, I'm still alive. I just had so many actually things to do, filling up the Swan from AGU tobacco. Yeah, I had so many things to do that I simply was not actually having enough energy to record anything. My son is at home and he is having online schooling, and that's an issue. And I was working partially on my primary job, and then I didn't work. Then I started working again, and it was a mess. Anyway, for those who are wondering, this is my Erica calabash system that I'm making with Joao. This is my pipe. This one is not for sale, no. What I wanted to say, it was a mess since all this started with the virus thing, and it still continues, let's say it like that. I'm a little bit working, then I'm a little bit home. Thank God I can be in the workshop so I can make some pipes, and I'm continuously making them, so there are some orders, and I'm also trying to squeeze in between those that I personally want to make, as like these days reverse calabash pipes are ringing in my head, sort of, and that's why I started, because this one was resting, I started to smoke her again. And in reality I'm baffled how good again this pipe is really smoking. So I know reverse calabash pipes, I had some and I have some, and I know that calabash pipes are also good smokers, but when I pulled this one out from a bag, she was resting since the day Joao was here, and you can check these videos like few months back. It was, I believe, in December he was here, so that would be like 3-4 months. Okay, so I pulled it out, but because I wanted to test this pipe and Joao made it for me to test it, and I stained it and shaped it to a final shape and everything else like we do for Erica. And I opened the chamber and I never cleaned it inside because I wanted to test the pipe. There was down there at the bottom on the inside so much tar-like, greasy tar-like substance down there that I was really surprised actually that it didn't harden, you know, it stayed like tar. And I had to scrape it using my pipe tool that I have. It's a vintage pipe tool that has still a knife-like, not a spoon-like, but a knife-like, let's say it like scraper. And I received that from a very good friend of mine, by the way, thank you. So I cleaned it, and while I was doing that, I got aware of a fact that this actually had to go into my lungs and mouth. And it ended up at the bottom of the chamber because it was wet when smoking. As you know, reverse calabash chambers, they capture moisture and also they act sort of like a filter. Because of that moisture that is developed on the walls of the inside of the chamber, they actually collect some of the nasty stuff inside the chamber. I will show you later when I smoke this one to the end how much actually is stuff down there. And remember, she was cleaned a day ago and I was cleaning her with the handkerchief every single smoke from that cleaning until today. So I will clean it also after I'm done with this one, just to show you how much stuff is actually inside, and it doesn't end up in our lungs, which is great, you know. So I'm thinking for myself, I have to make few more of reverse calabash and start to use them, if not almost exclusively, but start to use them a lot more, you know. Talking too much. Oh, I have a coffee. Just a sec. Since my parents went into self-isolation voluntarily, I don't have an access to the upper parts of the house, so I have to bring my coffee with me into the workshop, and therefore I will not have a fancy cup, but you know, this one will do. What's also really great with this Corona, if anything can be great actually, is that I'm spending a lot more time with family, with my wife and kids, and that's really awesome, you know. Although I cannot be enough with them, but still it's more than I normally spend, so that is really great. Oh yeah, it's great even from the plastic cup. So I remembered also one thing, that couple of days ago while I was cleaning this one, I actually visited a channel from Mutton Chop Piper, I think that's the name, I never remember that, but from time to time his videos pop up in my notifications for YouTube. So I was checking one of his video that caught my eye. It was called Ash, Ash and More Ash, I think, and it was talking about problem of ash inside your pipe. And basically I never noticed that because I started doing that some time ago, but I never connected dots, and his video actually made me connect dots, which is great, thank you. He was pointing out that when you are smoking your pipe and you tamp it a little bit and you smoke a little bit more and you tamp it again, what happens is that at the lower part of your bowl you actually have a lot more ash than tobacco. And maybe this is the reason also why the lower parts of the bowl taste like not so good as the beginning of the smoking, you know. So I was thinking, okay, I'm not doing that, and I never thought about it like that. But what I do, and what he also suggested to do, is when you are smoking, before you tamp, you take your pipe tool. For that matter, I will take this. You scrape just a little bit on the top of the tobacco. Actually, that is ash on top. What you have, you scrape it a little bit and just toss it out, so that you have a clean, or as clean as possible, tobacco down there. And then you tamp it a little bit. And you do that especially if you need to relight the pipe. Just clean whatever is in there, and that's what I'm doing mostly. When my pipe goes down, I use the tool, scrape it a little bit until I get to the healthy tobacco, dip that ash out, and then I light the pipe. Because I also saw that it's really difficult sometimes when you are down there with your pipe and on the bottom part of this chamber, and you want to relight, even if you are using a lighter like this that can go down there on the bottom, it's really hard to relight. So what I did, and probably that's why I started doing it, is I am removing the protective layer of ash so that I can come down to the healthy tobacco that I want to relight. Because if you go over the ash, you will actually not light the tobacco, or you will light it harder, let's say it like that. So probably this is the reason why I started to do that, and I cannot complain. It really seems to me that actually the taste of tobacco improves by a little, you know, because you are not sucking in excessive tobacco, and the taste is different, you know. That pipe goes really well with this coffee, and as I said, I'm smoking the Swan, and those two kind of go together, which is really nice. I have here a filtered coffee with some milk and sugar, nothing too crazy. See, maybe you don't. Okay, doesn't matter. So, related Erica pipes and related reverse calabash and regular calabash pipes. Try to smoke them. They are really good. They do the job really well. Especially this one, the system that Joao developed and both of us are doing, is kind of close to my heart because it's a joint work of two friends, and it does smoke really well. And the taste is better, and the smoke doesn't bite. You know, when I sometimes smoke some of my pipes with this tobacco, for example, not the shop pipe with the hole, but some of those, if I smoke too fast, I can go towards the edge when it starts to bite a little bit. And this pipe, probably because it removes the heat and moisture and everything, what calabash pipes normally do, it doesn't bite at all, you know. No matter how fast I'm smoking her, it doesn't bite, which is great. And I noticed that the other day when I was super nervous and super crazy because of my son's school and obligations and everything he had, and I just had to go out, light a pipe and, you know, relax. But I didn't relax at first, and I was smoking her like crazy, and it didn't bite at all, which is great. when I opened that pipe, when I was done, it was so filled with moisture and nasty stuff and everything. And I said, okay, I have to show you this, what's happening inside, because I'm not sure that guys that do smoke regular pipes and not calabash pipes ever see that, because it's crazy. So, back to the point of this video, or topic of this video. After I toss the ash. Okay. I had a question. After I made that last giveaway, and by the way, I'm planning a next giveaway, so stay tuned. And the question was how to decide the stain and the shape of the pipe, and how to decide what stem to use. Well, for me, when I'm developing a crazy kind of shape, freehand something, I'm thinking about what to do. Just because I want to be sure that I have enough room, enough wall thickness and everything else. But when I'm shaping and making regular kind of pipes like apples, brandies, whatever, more and more I'm thinking less and less, if that makes sense. I'm just taking the block, placing what I think goes best on that block, and I make the pipe. I rarely think. And in recent years, it happened that I finalized several stains that I like to use because they show the grain the best in my case. And those are colors like this. The darker the better, if you ask me, with loads of contrast. The other one that I'm using usually is green, and also what I'm using a lot is black and natural to contrast. And that's what I'm using most of the time, some of these, and I'm not thinking about them. I'm just, okay, this one will be probably this because of the colors of the stem and everything else, and I'm not thinking, I'm just trying to feel what might go better on that particular pipe. If she is not an order, if she is an order, I cannot play much. I have to do what a customer asks me to do, if I think that's right. Because rarely I will make a pipe that I don't like. I think that I never made, or maybe once or twice in these years that I have made a pipe that I didn't like, because I don't want to do it, because it's bad energy for me, and it turns into a torture, not a joy. And pipe making for me should be a joy, should be a positive energy, investing, putting that into the final product, the object that you actually share with the customer. And many of you do know that one of my dreams is actually to be able to make pipes and don't charge anything for them, just to share that with others. Like you want it, okay, it's yours, that type of thing. Because we don't have enough that in the world. But unfortunately, Reality is that my family is living from this also, and I cannot support my family just from my primary job, and I have to charge something. So what I'm doing is trying to actually be on the cheaper side of the stick, let's say it like that, so that you can, have a good pipe and be happy with price and everything else. Anyway, back to the point. How I'm deciding the stains and shapes and stems, mostly by feeling. I don't think too much, and unfortunately that turns into a certain kind of look that I'm usually doing. So what I have to do sometimes, when I catch myself that I'm actually doing something over and over again, or I think actually that I'm doing it over and over again, I need to step back and think, okay, now I have to do something that is really crazy or go on another direction or something. And what helps me to move my perspective is to actually look at other pipe makers, what they are doing, not to copy them, but to, there is a guy that I was reading a lot when I was younger. I will not name his name, not to be associated with it, because I'm not worthy to be associated with that guy, because I'm not following the teachings. But anyway,